All right, friends, Greek translation time again. This is where we left off last time, is here reading John chapter 3. And we finished a couple paragraphs talking about Jesus' conversation with Nicodemus. And let's go ahead and pick it up at 3:22. We'll see how far we get today. Maybe take a little extra time to translate. And let's get into it. Let's see what we know. John 3:22. Meta tauta eilthen ha Iesus kai hoi mathetai autu eis tein iudaion gain kai ake dietriben met auton kai ebaptizen. Okay? After these things, Jesus went and his disciples. Notice that if the subject was Jesus and his disciples went, this would be a third person plural verb, but they sort of phrase it in this weird way that Jesus went and his disciples went with him. You know, that's kind of the afterthought sort of thing. Jesus is the main character here. Jesus went and his disciples went also into Judea, the land of Judea, and remained. Diatriben means remained, like a diatribe. When you're given a speech or something, you remain on one topic for a little bit. Remained there with them, and he was baptizing. Okay, notice what we got going on here. Baptizo, we look to the left, we see an augment, so that we know this is one of our past tenses. We don't see a stem change going on. We don't see a sigma for a first aorist. This is an imperfect verb, so he was baptizing. During this time that they're remaining, it's giving the idea of the ongoing nature of the baptizing that is happening with Jesus. Okay, verse 23. Ein de kai ha Ioannes baptizon en ainon engus tu Salem, hati hudata pala ein ake, kai para eginanta kai ebaptizanta. Upo gar ein beblemenas eis tein fulakain ha Ioannes. Okay, a couple other verses here. And he was also John the Baptist, and John the Baptist was also in Ainon near Salem, because there was much water there. And coming, he was baptizing. Okay, so Jesus is setting up a shop to baptize, and John the Baptist is there too. He's also there baptizing, right? John the Baptist has been doing it longer, and Jesus and John the Baptist have met, and Jesus is setting up shop now. What's going to happen, right? Verse 24, Hupo gar ein beblemenas, eis tein fulakain ha Ioannes. For not yet was John being thrown into jail. Okay. You know the perfect for this week? Do you recognize this? This is actually a participle. We'll start to learn participles next class period. But do you recognize the reduplication on the front? Okay. That's pretty key. That doesn't happen very often, except for perfect. So hopefully that popped up a little bit. Okay. And this is a negative. So this is communicating the idea of the readers presumably know that John the Baptist eventually goes to jail, and this is the narrator's note that says John had not been thrown into jail yet. Okay, this is before that happens. Okay, let's keep going. Verse 25. Egeneta un zetesis ek ton matheton Ioannou meta Iudaiou peri katharismou. Therefore, there was zetesis, a discussion. Actually, literally means like seeking. There was a seeking. Idiomatically means a discussion. Okay, and there was a discussion from the disciples of John with the Jews concerning katharisman, from the word katharizo, which means cleansing. Or purification. You think about, we get the word cathartic from this word, right? If you say, there's really cathartic to say that, that comes from this idea of cleansing. And this case, used as a noun like this, comes from purification, right? Discussion about John's disciples with the Jews regarding purification. So they're there talking about purification. Let's see what happens. Kai eilthan pros ton Ioannein kai epon auto Rabbi, has ein meta su peran tu Iordanu, ho su memarturekas ide hutas baptize kai pantes canta pros auton. Okay? Notice what they said. And they came to John and said to him, Rabbi, who was with you, or the one whom was with you across the Jordan, whom you have testified? Okay. Notice the perfect there at the front again. Okay. This is a perfect active indicative. You have testified. Okay. You started testifying in the past, and you continued to testify all the way. It continues to affect the present. Your testimony is still relevant. It still happens. It still matters. You're still testifying now. What you've said this whole time, John, you have testified about what you have testified. Behold, he, or that guy, is baptizing, and all are going to him. Okay? So it's like this aside almost. They're talking about other stuff. They're having a conversation about purification, and like almost this conversation gets interrupted like, John, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but that guy who you're talking about, you called the Lamb of God that takes away the sin of the world, he's over there and everybody's going to him to get baptized now. I know that's kind of your gig, but look, you're not going to want to see this kind of thing, right? That's kind of the sense you get of them telling him. Let's keep going. Verse 27. Apekrithe Ioannes kai apen u dunatai anthropos lambanein ude hen ean me e didamenon auto ek tu uranu. John answered and said, a man is not able to receive, got an infinitive there, which we would expect following dunatai, very common to get a complementary infinitive, but you don't know infinitives yet. A man is not able to receive anything, hen here, not one thing, ean me, unless it may have been given to him from heaven. Okay? Notice again, this is a perfect participle. We don't necessarily know the back half of this word, what's going on, but hopefully you notice the reduplication out front. A man is not able to receive not one thing from God, not one thing unless it has been given to him from heaven. Heaven is a metaphor for God here. Okay? Verse 28. Autoi humes moi martyrete hati epon hati uk eme ego ha Christos. Allah hati apostalmanos emi and prosthon ekenu. You testify. Now notice this. Notice we have autoi right here. Notice this. This is used, even though we're talking about a you verb, a you plural, okay? This is used to add emphasis there, okay? You yourselves, and it's just making it even stronger, you yourselves testify to me or concerning me that I said that I am not the Christ, right? John can't use language any more strongly here to emphasize this. I've been telling you guys this the whole time, that I am not the Christ, but that the one being sent, I am being sent before him. Being sent before him. I'm his forerunner, okay? I'm here to prepare the way. That's what he's saying. Verse 29. Ha ekon tain numphain numphias estin. Ha de philos tu numphiu ha estekos kai akuon autu kara kaire dia tain phonein tu numphiu. Haute un hakara he eme peplerotai. The one having the bride is the bridegroom. And the friend of the bridegroom, the one standing and hearing him, rejoices in joy on account of the voice of the bridegroom. This, therefore, the joy of mine. Therefore, this is my joy, has been made complete. Notice the perfect here, right? See the reduplication here, okay? This is a middle passive here. My joy has been made complete. Notice that, okay? Did you recognize the perfect when you're going through this the first time? My joy has been completed. Verse 30. Akanon de auxanein eme de elatusthai. Okay? It is necessary for that guy to increase or to become greater, and me to decrease or to become less, something like that. Okay? John is not threatened by Jesus's emergence baptizing. He says, hey guys, this was the plan. This is the way it was supposed to go. I told you guys this. I told you that I wasn't the Messiah. I served my role. He's doing his thing. I'm doing mine. Now it's time for me to begin to decrease. Kind of interesting, isn't it? We see inside a little bit of the drama of the early the early emergence of Christianity here. John the Baptist clearly being a humble dude to take a backseat to Jesus because he knows his role, okay? We saw some perfects in there, right? We saw several of those perfects. Hopefully you can recognize the front ends of those and recognize that reduplication. That's a bit of a fresh air, hopefully, a bit of breath of fresh air, hopefully, at this point, because that reduplication just looks so funny out in the front of those words, all right? Guys, we'll come back. We'll keep going next time. Stay tuned.